This episode is more of a blast from the past. We're going to talk about Qatar when it first got technologified. Hey there guys, it's MR.Q, your friendly neighborhood Qatari here, and do you remember back in the day when Ooredoo used to be known as QTel?
Pepperidge Farm remembers.
Before we start talking about tech, did you know that in 1963 the Ras Abu Aboud power station turned on the turbines? We used steam turbines in 1963. It was in 1970 that the Ministry of Electricity and Water was created. And in 1977, that's when they started to add some more technology. They started to computerize everything. And it was in the year 2000 that they became Kahramaa. And if you remember from the last episode, Kahramaa is actually a pretty smart name. It's a mix of Kahraba, meaning electricity, and Ma, which means water. Kahraba, Kahramaa, electro-water.
How creative!
So as I said, Ooredoo used to be known as QTel, and back in the day, everybody was excited to get their landline phones. Do you guys remember what it used to look like? Remember that? And then soon after, everybody was like, listen, we need some more advancements. And everybody used to carry around a bleeb. You know what a bleeb is?
No idea.
Well, you Americans call it a pager. We call it a bleeb. Somebody would send you like 143 as a code. You know what 143 means?
I love you?
Yes, indeed I do. I love you. And I remember asking someone like, why is it 143? And it's like, yeah, because I is 1, and then love is 4 characters, and then you is 3 characters. But you know how many other, I don't know, phrases are also 143?
I hate you.
So you just gotta guess. Is that person loving me or hating me?
And then 911, you gotta call right away.
Yeah, 911 was like, call me right now. I got something urgent to tell you. And then you would like run to a payphone, you know? And then if you were cool though, you had one of those cards that you didn't need to put cash. So you put the card in and then you call, hey man, what's up? What's going on? And the person like, hey man, just don't forget, bring me some toothpaste. That was your emergency, dude?
It's not an emergency.
It was in 1996 that we first got our internet. Not the internet that you guys know today, but it used to sound something like this. Our ears bled every time we would connect to the internet. Oh, and you know what else used to happen to us? You would be on the internet surfing, and then all of a sudden get disconnected. You know why? Mom! Get off the phone! I'm on the internet!
Your mom ruined my life.
Of course, one of the things that everybody remembered was the old QTel logo, and to be honest, I kind of prefer the QTel name more than the Ooredoo name. That's just my opinion. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section below. So you know how different countries have their own like domain extensions? So UK had .co.uk. America, I guess, was just the .com, right? And then you had, I don't know, what was it in Korea? .kr. Here, it was .net. That's what we chose. We chose to go with .net.qa. Oh, and fun fact, that's why I Love Qatar today is iLoveQatar.net. The more you know. Of course, if you had the internet, you had a computer. Big beige boxes that looked like this.
It was ugly. Big, ugly.
Having mentioned computers, that brings us to our sponsor for this episode, Newegg. Newegg is an online retailer specialized in everything tech such as laptops, desktops, PC parts, gaming consoles, and much more. You can buy the best brands from the USA and have it shipped to Qatar. And this month, they have free shipping on selected items, such as processors, graphics cards, motherboards, memory, and SSDs. Link is in the description below. All right, let's go back to the good old memories.
Hey, you know, everybody's talking about the good old days, right? Yeah. Everybody, the good old days, the good old days.
You guys remember Cablevision? I remember laying down on the sofa, watching television, just watching random stuff that I've never heard of before. I was watching the old Comedy Central, like the really, really old, with the old logo. I think they had like a globe with like a little satellite receiver thing or whatever it was. And one of the shows was Dr. Katz and was about this therapist and was drawn in such an unusual way. And we were used to actually watching anime and watching Japanese cartoons. So seeing this American stuff, I was like, whoa. All right, let's talk about games. I grew up with a Nintendo. Like, of course, there were other things before the Nintendo that I remember, like the Saqar, which is like a keyboard that you plug in a tape, and it had Arabic support, which is interesting because nowadays, even a lot of modern games don't have Arabic support. So some people would have the Saqar, some people would have what we would call the family game. Japanese people would call it the Famicom. It looked like this. And I remember it blew my mind that you could plug in Famicom games into the Nintendo with a special adapter. And I was like, what is this? Like, how is this working? I'm trying to understand! So I never actually got a Nintendo, but my uncle Josim had one. And when I would go and visit him, he would have it like in his room and he would play and he would let me play it and play Super Mario. But then eventually I did get my console, and the console that I got was a Sega.
What Nintendo?
And one thing that we used to do here in Qatar is before you saw these skyscrapers, we lived in like little towns, little villages. And not everybody had every game. And so we'd pass by to different homes and all the kids would get together and we'd like exchange cartridges. Try to do that with a digital code, Tim. You remember how many times you would like take the cartridge and no, but there was a specific way that you would have to blow it. You have to go like, because there was also that rumor that if you blew for too long, that bacteria would start growing inside. And then eventually, you'd go advanced and you would get one of those cartridge cleaning systems, where you have to put like a couple of drops and you gotta like put it in and pull it out a couple of times. The younger generation will never know what we had to go through just to play a couple of rounds.
Back in my day, we used to call those Talkies.
Finally, one of the things that I remember that was really huge growing up, the smartwatch. Oh, not the ones with the screens, not an Apple Watch. I'm talking about watches that had calculators.
Don't look at our crotches while we synchronize our watches.
That's a calculator.
Tiny little itty bitty buttons that no matter what you did with your tiny little hands, your child fingers, you would never be able to click on anything.
Beep, beep, beep. Beep, beep, beep.
Sometimes when you would have someone who'd ask you a question, hey man, like what's 5 plus 9? You'd be like, wait a minute.
Beep, beep, beep. Beep, beep, beep.
Battery's dead.
The battery is dead. It ceased to live.
And then came the what? The television remote watch. And everybody would sit in class and change the channel, and the teacher would be like, hey, what's going on? I don't understand what's happening. Yes, our teacher's like old British woman, okay? Oh, look at this. And then we would just sit back and laugh. But my dad did bring one day a spy watch. It was just a walkie-talkie. that was it. When somebody would speak to you, it would make the loudest, most annoying noise, like shh.
Roger that.
Dude, you don't have to do that sound. It already does that.
Oh man, you wanna know what's going on? And like, what spy would be sneaking around with such a loud audio,
That was the last one.
So there are loads more memories that I can talk about, and if you do want me to talk about those good old days, let me know in the comment section below. I'll make another episode. Maybe we can talk about like, I don't know, toys or old locations or things that don't exist in Qatar anymore. All right, guys, so if you enjoyed this episode, please don't forget to give us a like. Don't forget to share, and of course, subscribe. Because when you go ahead and subscribe, it keeps us going. And then after you've subscribed, if you see that bell over there, just give it like one of those, okay? مع السلامة.